Hey, people, how y'all doing? So I was thinking maybe it was time that I put it out of the video because I got something I got to say. This is coming from hundreds of hours of reading different comments people have made on different social media platforms. So I just want you to know I have put some thought into what I'm about to say. The first type of person. This is the type of person that only believes what comes out of their TV. If it did not come off Fox News or CNN, they want no part of it. If you try to present them with some different information than what came out of their TV, they double down, they dig their heels in, and they want nothing to do with what you're trying to show them. As far as they're concerned, it didn't come off mainstream media. It is not legitimate information. You know, I used to work with this lady, and she was as sweet as she could be. I absolutely loved her to death. And she was a devout Catholic as well. And the only sources of information she would get was from NPR radio and from MSNBC. And the reason those were her two only information sources is because the father or priest at her local church that she went to, that's what he deemed to be credible information sources. So she would only follow what the leaders of that church told her to follow. And I remember a few years ago, Project Veritas had just done a major drop on something. I can't remember what it was now, but it was like bombshell information. So I got to work with her that morning, and I couldn't wait to share with her alternative sources, some alternative views, some alternative news. But she wasn't eager just to use my phone and watch the video I was trying to show her with Project Veritas. Instead, what she decided to do was Google. And of course, the very first thing she comes across is Wikipedia. And we know that is as credible as Snopes, but nonetheless. So she reads the article on Wikipedia, and it's basically nothing more than a smear piece on Project Veritas. Wikipedia has deemed Project Veritas to be disinformation, misinformation, and sleazy investigative reporters that don't require any merit. So that was enough to stop her. She would not even watch the video that Project Veritas was trying to put out there to get the information out there. Now, the second type of person is actually the category my husband falls in. And this is the type of person that they know all of our institutions have been corrupted and bastardized. They know that our federal government has been taken over by some really corrupt people. They know the upper echelons of our education system has been taken over by some really corrupt people. They know our healthcare has been taken over and hijacked by some really corrupt people. But this information and this realization is too much for them to process. It goes against their comfort level. So they'd rather keep their Disney, keep their Hulu, keep their Netflix, and stay in their comfort level than to unplug from the matrix or the beast system, whatever you want to call it. It's just too ugly for them. They have decided that the truth is just too ugly to wrap their mind around. So they just stay plugged in because they don't like what's really going on out there. Now you have the third type of person, which is me. And that is, I have awakened to the point I have unplugged from everything. Do not have Amazon Prime. Do not have Hulu. Do not have Disney Plus. I haven't had this shit in 2 years. Do not have Netflix. Hardly ever watch TV, as a matter of fact. Mostly I watch Rumble and YouTube on my phone because I see the programming that's going on. I see how they intentionally trying to keep people distracted with entertainment and fear so that people don't actually see what's going on around them. Can spot a false flag, a psyop a mile away. Recently had Dallas police shootings. What was it, 2 officers or 3 officers that was killed? The official report is that it was a lone man, lone shooter. One person did it, then committed suicide. Then it fell out of the news cycle. You never heard from it again. Tied it all up with a nice little bow on top. There you go. Dallas had a police shooting, I think it was in 2016, where 5 officers were killed. The official report was it was a lone gunman, shot and killed those officers, killed himself when it was all said and done. News cycle ended, wrapped it all up with a pretty bow on top. That's all there is to it. You have the Vegas police shooting. Official story is it was a lone gunman that killed all those people, hurt all those people, committed suicide after he killed everybody, fell out of the news cycle, wrapped it up with a nice bow on top. Are you following me here? You know, if you ever go back and watch the movie, it's called Wag the Dog by Robert De Niro, you'll see how all this works. These real life news stations are right off that movie.
Thank you for watching our show, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!